So many of us are so used to beating ourselves up and being highly self-critical. So why are we so hard on ourselves? Why do we listen to that nagging, harsh voice that tells us that we're not good enough? Well, it's hardly surprising really. We live in a highly competitive society where we're told we need to work harder, we need to achieve more, be more attractive, be thinner, be perfect and be the best. However, emerging research is showing that cultivating a more self-compassionate attitude is a more effective path to happiness and fulfilling our true potential. And indeed, self-compassionate people have been found to be less stressed, they're happier, they feel more connected in their relationships, they're more emotionally resilient, and they're more productive. So what is self-compassion? Well, Kristin Neff, one of the leading researchers in this area, says self-compassion simply means treating yourself with the same kindness and care that you'd show a good friend. Self-compassion means that when we're having a difficult time, or when we're struggling, or when we notice something that we don't like about ourselves, rather than mercilessly criticising and judging ourselves, we're able to show ourselves warmth and understanding and consider how we can care and comfort ourselves in that moment. Rather than avoiding pain, self-compassionate people are able to be truly honest with themselves. They recognise that not being perfect, that making mistakes, that experiencing loss and rejection and pain and suffering is an inevitable part of life and actually a part of being human. And so it's something that we all share in common and therefore something that connects us. It's important to briefly make the distinction between self-compassion and self-esteem, because what psychologists are finding is actually focusing on self-esteem is problematic because it's about social comparison. So it involves comparing oneself with others and actually having to be better than others to feel good about oneself. Another problem with striving for high self-esteem is that it can encourage people to hide or to distort or ignore their personal flaws, both from themselves and from others. And this can lead to people not seeing themselves clearly and accurately. Many people often feel uneasy about this term self-compassion because they worry that they're going to become self-indulgent or lazy or let their standards drop or let themselves off the hook. So they worry they're just going to sit at home all day eating Haagen-Dazs. Well, this is not what self-compassion is. Self-compassionate individuals truly care about themselves enough that they want to be healthy, they want to be successful, and they want to make the best choices for themselves. In our experience at CPG, many of our clients find that being self-compassionate feels unnatural or even overwhelming. And it's totally understandable. If you've been listening to that inner self-critical voice for a long time, it's become a habit and you've given it a lot of power. So I would really recommend working through this with a therapist if you can. But fortunately, self-compassion is something that can be learnt and practiced over time. So what are CPG's top 5 tips for being self-compassionate? Well, number 1, you don't have to do anything big or dramatic. Actually, even the smallest acts of kindness can make the difference. So things like taking a really nice hot long shower, making a healthy breakfast, drinking a green smoothie, or taking some exercise. Number 2, if you find it really hard to be kind to yourself, then put yourself in the position of a good friend and think about what that friend would say to you. What sort of words would they use? Number 3, watch your language. You may be so used to criticising yourself that you're not even aware that you're doing it. So I would really recommend tuning in to the kind of words that you're saying to yourself and really watch the I musts, I should, and I'm not good enough. Some of our clients like to memorise a set of kind of mantras that they say to themselves or phrases. So things like acknowledging, I'm finding it really difficult right now, and this is really hard, but I'm only human, and how can I find a way to be kind to myself in this moment in time? Number 4, comfort yourself with a physical gesture. So actually put your hand on your heart or give yourself a hug. Now, this might sound really strange or weird to some people, and if you feel a bit self-conscious, then you can do it in private. However, it's really helpful because what it does, it helps us to get out of our busy chattering minds and into our bodies. And it also helps to release a feel-good hormone called oxytocin, which is associated with love and care and feeling safe. And finally, our top tip from CPG is to practice meditation. Now, there are lots of different forms of meditation out there. There's breathing practices, mindfulness, yoga, or walks in nature. So I guess the key thing is to find a practice that works for you and helps you to find some quiet and space in your mind. So remember, all of these things that you do for yourself are about boosting your well-being, and actually taking the time out to do these things is going to have an effect on other areas of your life. I'm Genevieve von Lob, Clinical Associate from City Psychology Group. If you have any questions, please send them to our email on asktheexpert@citypsychology.com. Thank you for watching.